Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Kate. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for your time. I'm really happy we can do this interview because I enjoy hearing about your business. You have a local business in Pine Bush in Orange County, so I want people to know more about it. And how can you describe your business?
So I'm a travel agency, but my agency works a little bit differently than what most
Mm-hmm.
people are used to. I'm more service related. Okay, so I'm not the kind of place that you would call up and just say, "Oh, just book me this, that, and the other thing."
Yeah.
I'm more of a planner. So I get to know my clients, understand what their vision is for their trip,
Mm-hmm.
and basically build them an itinerary that works around what they're looking for. Okay. And then
Yes.
I advise on like, so if they had a resort in mind, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a resort that I normally would sell, I might say, well, I'll show you that, but I'll show you some other comparisons so that they
Yeah.
can
Well.
compare. But for the most part, I'm more service related. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of take care of everything from flights to accommodations to private transfers, guiding them through excursions, and they have access to me while they're traveling, so that if anything was to happen, they know that they have me in their back pocket. So
That's
it's more
great.
service related than anything
Mm-hmm.
else is what I like to look at it. Okay.
Yeah, so definitely cannot really compare with just booking online because you
Right.
have your
Yeah.
advisor
Yeah.
to
Exactly.
give you insights about everything. What do you think are some common mistakes travelers make?
I think that they rely too much on photographs that they see on sites. So if they're really looking at a property, I think the problem is that most people will always look at price first. And if you're looking at price first, you have to understand that, of course, there some things, services, and value are going to be diminished when that's all you're looking at is price.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is flights. My thing is book flights. If you're going to book flights, book directly with the airline. Do not use a third, don't go to Expedia or
Mm-hmm.
Priceline or all those places, because if you have a problem with the flights, you have to work with them to get your flights fixed, and try getting online with them, and them knowing you and knowing your situation. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I mean by service. When you call up these 800 numbers, you're just going to get whoever. And they
Yeah.
don't know your story,
Will not be Brenda.
and they don't know you. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing too, is that people should really book their flights directly with the airlines. Okay. Unless
Mm-hmm.
they're using, like, sometimes I'll use a consolidator for certain high ticket price flights,
Mm-hmm.
because I can get them a little bit better. When
Okay.
you're talking about business trips and
That's
um,
interesting.
high tickets, like I just saved my client close to $1,600 on first class tickets. So,
That's
so
huge.
that factor
Mm-hmm.
is different than when you're
Yes.
booking regular air. The
Yeah.
other mistake I think clients make, is that they don't see the value in travel insurance. Um, Now, there's several things that you can do with travel insurance. You can cover your flights, of course,
Mm-hmm.
cover the reservation, accommodations and things as well. But I've had clients who didn't want to do that at all, and they say, "No, we're going regardless." And I understand that. But
Yeah.
while you're traveling outside the country, you don't have medical insurance. So I try to say to them, look, if you don't want to insure the trip, at least insure yourself. And that policy could be as little as $76 to $100. And
Yeah.
that's
It's
just peace
just
of
not
mind.
worth it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. All
That's
right.
good.
So I've had not that I have had any clients.
Mm-hmm.
I've had clients stuck when COVID was going on, but I haven't had any clients that have gotten ill or had to go to the doctors while they were
Yeah.
traveling. But I've heard stories upon stories from other advisors,
Horror stories, right?
war stories, where something as simple as somebody getting
Yeah.
a bee sting and
Oh,
having an
yeah.
allergic reaction, and them going to a hospital and it costing them $3,000.
Yeah.
So I say, look, it for $100,
Yeah.
it's worth it
Yes,
because you never know.
absolutely.
So though, that's another mistake that I believe
Yeah.
people do is travel insurance. And and also nowadays, look at there are some savvy DIYers out there, and I get it. They really know their stuff, which is fine.
Hmm.
But if you're not, I really highly recommend working with a travel advisor because
Yeah.
we're there for you. So, those are just some little mistakes that I see that
Yeah.
people make.
And I heard that you are visiting a lot of resorts, so you have like a first-hand experience, right?
I've
With a
toured,
lot of
yeah, so between
places.
Mexico, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Barbados, St. Vincent's, Grenada, those islands I've been to. I've probably toured, I stopped counting, but I know I'm over 100 resorts that I've toured. Not
Mm-hmm.
actually stayed at all those resorts, but I've gone and toured them. And yeah, like I can recommend now it helps me to better recommend to a client
Yeah.
where their experience would be best in a particular country. And no, believe me, I've been to some resorts I would I walked out and would never recommend them. You know what I mean? No, I would be like, no, the only reason they'd stay here is if there was a major airline shutdown overnight and they had nowhere else to
Oh,
stay. But
yeah.
yes, but then, you get, when I get to tour these properties, I get to see what they have as far as amenities. I get to know
Activities.
yeah, of course, also the managers of these properties. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually building a relationship with
Yeah.
them. So that when I send my clients to these properties, I'll always email the hotel prior and say, look, I have so and so coming on this date. I'd love a little special amenity put in the room or whatever.
Yeah.
And just to let them, know, or I have a little thank you card. So building those relationships
Yes.
is really important with those properties, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
I do it, because
Yes.
I want to know firsthand what my client's going to experience when
Yeah.
they
You
get
want
there.
them to be happy. Of
Oh
course.
yeah, of course of course you
Yeah.
always want your clients to be happy.
Yeah.
That's the first and foremost, and there are a lot of those things I can't control. Um, but when I go to these properties and I build these relationships, I get to know the property manager.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to know the concierge. I'll get to know the spa manager so that I can communicate with them prior to my client's arrival and make sure that they're going to have a good experience.
Yes. Yeah. You can tell them, take care of my people.
And yes, and I
Yeah.
do. And I just had one client couple that I emailed the resort. Well, I spoke to my business development manager before
Mm-hmm.
my clients went so that I knew who to talk to.
Yeah.
And they wound up putting them on the VIP list, and they just came back and rave reviews of this resort because
Yeah.
they got my gift when they arrived, which because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that doesn't happen, and
Yeah.
I get it, they have a lot going on, but my
Mm-hmm.
gift was there when they arrived, and they were treated like gold, and my clients did nothing but rave about service and food, and that's the experience you want clients to have. Well, these guys were on their honeymoon, but those are the
Oh,
experiences that you want them to have.
yes. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
knowing the property prior and knowing how to communicate with the staff prior are
Mm-hmm.
just things that are going to help enhance the experience.
Yes, I can't agree more. Um, what local customs we should be aware of? I know you specialize in Caribbean. Is there something or
Okay, so
not
here's
really?
something real. Do not wear camouflage shorts or pants in Barbados. Okay?
Oh,
Don't.
interesting. Oh,
Don't.
wow.
Only the military in Barbados can wear camouflage shorts. And I
Okay.
didn't realize that
Oh,
when
wow.
we were in Barbados and my husband was wearing camouflage shorts. We were ready to walk out of the hotel, and our driver said, oh, no, no, don't wear those. So now we know, don't wear camouflage shorts in Barbados or anything
Wow.
camouflage. That's strictly
Okay.
military. Like in our country, everybody's wearing camouflage. Can't do
Yeah.
that. What was the other thing too? As far as um, I mean, going to all these other resorts and stuff and all these different islands, every island is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Um, and the smaller islands, of course, the islands are just really laid back. So look at if you're a New Yorker, and you're going to an island and you think that you're
Enjoy.
gonna boom, 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 like look it's laid back. Okay.
Yeah,
Like they will
yeah,
help you and you will get room service, but it's not gonna
yeah,
happen in 5 seconds. Okay.
yeah.
So what I tell people is look, at you're on vacation, you need to chill out. All right. These guys are on island time. They move on
Mhm.
island time. Okay.
Yeah,
Not on New York time. So
yeah.
you have to adjust to that their customs, not them adjust to you. Remember,
Yes,
you're
yes,
in
yeah.
their island, their country. And as far as
I-
customs is concerned, there's a lot of things that people aren't aware of. Like a lot of the islands now still require you to fill out immigration paperwork before you get there, and also
Mhm,
before you check in on your plane. So
mhm.
depending on the island that you're going to, and the airlines aren't going to tell you that until you actually arrive at the airport, and then you're sitting there at the gate trying to get these immigration forms done with terrible Wi-Fi. So avoid all that at all costs. This is why I say use a travel advisor because well, for my
Give
clients,
this in advance.
I take care of all that for them before they leave. So this way, when they're at the airport, they just show them the little QR code and they're good to go. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah,
yes, and
a huge
a
time
lot of
saver.
the islands are requiring that. So
Yeah.
check with your travel advisor on what island you're going to because
Mhm.
the airline will not tell you until it's ready to check in or while you're at the airport, which is the absolute worst time to have to do it.
Yeah, I know you are using also some application, right? That you
You
have
can do
a.
everything online right now. Like, and here's another thing too. The immigration forms to fill out are free. So for instance, a
Mhm,
couple weeks ago, I booked my client booked his own flights. Hold on one second.
mhm,
Let me just message her. My client booked their own flights,
mhm,
okay? And using their points, which is
mhm,
fine, and I'm totally agree with that.
mhm,
But the minute they did that, of course, here comes a trigger from a company that wants to help them with their immigration forms.
mhm.
Um, and and they wanted to charge them. So he's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "No, no, no, don't fill that out. It's free." You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, if you don't know, you might pay and make some people richer.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing is that these immigration paperworks, they're free. You don't need to pay for them. But what happens is that when you are doing this on your own, all these, you know how that is.
Yeah, it's under pressure and you just, start clicking
All
yes,
of a sudden
yes,
it's
and
like, oh, these guys just booked to wherever. I've got to send them my link so that I can help them with immigration forms.
yeah.
And then it's okay, it's going to cost you $150. No, no, no.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
a scam. You don't want to be part of
Yeah.
that. So those are just things too that a travel advisor, like
Yeah.
my client had gotten that note and he goes, what do I do? I go, ignore that. Don't touch on that. Don't do that. I'll take care of your forms. So those
Mhm.
are just some things to let you
Yes.
know about
Good to know. Yeah.
yeah, they're just good to know things. Mhm.
What do you think people don't know about your business and you want them to know?
I think that they just don't realize the value that they get with using a travel advisor as to just booking online or even with
Yes.
other
Yeah.
agents. I
Yeah.
had somebody give me a really great compliment the other day. They
Mm-hmm.
had booked,
Nice.
they had booked with somebody else. Okay, they've been
Oh.
booking this trips with me for years,
Mm-hmm.
and they're a small business, and they help a lot of look at in their business. They work with lots of people like myself, advisors,
Mm-hmm.
and I know when I used to have my other business, I had
Mm-hmm.
several plumbers, several electricians. You know, how can you use all of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you want to spread your own wealth and give them business as well. Well, anyway, this client booked with somebody else, and
Mm-hmm.
they called me to apologize for doing that. And I understood, though. I understand when you have
Yeah.
so many clients that all do the same thing, you have to share the wealth, and I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't angry or upset or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what the compliment that I got is that the way they handled taking care of them was
Mm-hmm.
completely different than she said
Oh,
she was nothing but frustrated because
yeah.
basically I took care of everything for them. They felt like it was just all they had to do was pack their bags and get on the plane and go. Okay, that everything was just taken
Mm-hmm.
care of, and that if they needed anything, I was in their back pocket. So, every travel advisor or every business offers different types of services. And so you
Mm-hmm.
have to understand who you're working with, because
Mm-hmm.
you're making a very big investment. A vacation is an investment,
Yes.
okay, in time and money. And who are you working with as far as that? And the other
Mm-hmm.
thing I try to tell
It
people is,
matters.
look, if you're going to go ahead and book online, then you have just hurt a small business owner in your neighborhood, because our rates are the same. We're all working with the same system, okay? Just like in
Yeah.
real estate, you're all working with the same system, okay?
Yeah.
Um, so when you get information from a travel advisor on where you want to go, and
Mm-hmm.
and that information comes to you, and then you book on your own, that you have just taken money away from that person, because we don't make, until you book, we don't make anything until you've traveled.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Just like you
Mm-hmm.
don't make anything until the house is sold, but yet you've taken them to how many thousands of places to show them. Well, we don't get paid until and
Yeah.
you have an $8,000 trip. It's not like that's my commission. No, you're paying, I mean, that's a
Yes.
small percentage that I get. So you try to advise people, hey, just because you booked an $8,000 trip doesn't mean I'm making the
Oh,
8,000.
yeah.
You gotta
Yeah. Of
remember your
course. Yeah.
room,
Definitely.
your flights, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you're taking away from a small business owner. So I would advise to not do that. If
Yeah.
you're going to work with a travel advisor, unless your personalities don't get along and you don't feel she's a good or he is a good fit,
Mm-hmm.
don't take the information that they give you and then book on your own, because all you're doing is hurting that small business owner. And that's what makes our communities go around, is that small business owner. And I know
Yeah. You will pay the same amount of money, but you will not get
the service.
quite VIP service with the travel agent, right?
We won't if you book online. No, you won't. So,
Yeah. Yeah. What would your customers say they love most about your business? I think we touched most of this stuff, but if you want to share something
I
additional.
think the fact that, you know what, I think what I hear from them over and over again is
Mm-hmm.
that their trip was seamless. And that's what you want.
You love
Now,
to hear that, right? Yeah.
I don't have control over the airlines. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
the biggest headache that as anybody has,
Yeah.
is the airlines and delays and changing flights or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from all that, I would have to say that 90% of the reviews that I get back from my client all say the same thing. It was seamless.
Yeah.
From, all we did was pack our bags, get on the plane. Our car
Mm-hmm.
was waiting for us when we got there to be picked up. We knew what to expect.
Oh, wow.
We
Yeah.
knew this, we knew that. We had Brenda in our back pocket if we had any questions.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things that I think that people just don't get. And I think um, I don't know why people would not use, and I'm not saying to not to use me all the time, but wouldn't use a travel
Yeah.
advisor
I,
when they have such an investment of money that they're spending. So that's
yes,
just
that's really good information for people to know.
because your money, it's an investment. And that's how I look at it. It's an investment. Just like you invest in buying a house or invest in
Yeah.
buying a car, you're gonna work with somebody that you trust, and that knows you. And you need to, and look at what I'm doing for them is personal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know, I ask a lot of questions, personal
Mm-hmm.
questions, so that I understand that I give them what it is they're truly looking for, not what I'm looking for, what they're looking for.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, they invest in the experience and in health, because this has a huge impact on
Oh,
you.
yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I have lots of clients, and also too, the wellness part, the wellness industry is something that I've just gotten into in recent months,
Yeah, thank you for
is
mentioning it.
guiding people who are
Mm-hmm.
going through cancer or
Mm-hmm.
are survivors.
Mm-hmm.
How do they experience a vacation
Yeah.
when they're going through something like this? So I've
Mm-hmm.
taken a lot of time to train myself and find
Mm-hmm.
resorts that can accommodate, understanding what they need to do to
Yeah.
pack to get through TSA, all that stuff. It's a lot, but
Yeah,
then
it is.
but they deserve to have a vacation just like everybody else, because
Absolutely.
especially because that vacation will put
Hmm.
them in a positive mindset. And a positive mindset will just make them heal better. quite
Faster and yeah.
So that's just another aspect of
Yes.
the business that I've gotten into.
Oh, yeah, it's good to know that if you want to experience something like that, you can talk to some people can talk to you about that. What are some odd requests you got from clients? If you
I
remember something, you
I
can share.
request. Well, um, a lot of people do call me to just kind of book flights for them to, like,
Okay. Hmm.
wherever, and I just don't, unless you're a regular client of mine, I don't really do that. But here's the strangest request that I ever received.
Okay.
Okay, there's this psychedelic drug that is available in
Hmm.
Mexico and Costa
Oh,
Rica
interesting.
and parts of our country, I think, like in
Hmm.
the West. Um, and and it's used mainly for people who are trying to find some kind of spiritual connection. Okay.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm. Oh
yes,
my.
I know, but it's also a drug, okay, and it has to be administered correctly and everything like that. So I had somebody who called me that wanted to participate in this kind of experimental thing.
Oh my.
And
Hmm.
I, like you know, the only thing that I really looked at was, okay, so you need some spiritual guidance. I'll find a resort that has, what are they called? A shaman, okay,
Hmm.
or has, is a spiritual retreat where you can do meditation or yoga or something like
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
to elevate yourself. And no, that's not what he was looking for. He was looking for something with this drug. And this drug, when after I researched it, it's in a hallucinogenic, like up there
Okay.
with like peyote and stuff, but a little bit stronger.
My.
I did find some resorts that he could go to where there was doctors who administer it, but I couldn't book it because I felt like I'd be liable if
Yeah,
something
yeah, yes,
happened.
yes.
So that was something he had to do. Yeah, but that was a strange. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not easy. Not easy for you.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so tell us what is on Brenda's bucket list of destinations.
So Brenda's bucket list. I just built this itinerary for somebody to New Zealand, and I'm just
Oh my.
fascinated. I'm fascinated with the way that this itinerary is coming out. And I said to my husband, you know what? I'm building this itinerary for them, and I said looks like so much fun. So I'd love to
Yeah.
go there. I'd love to
Mm-hmm.
go. I'd love to go to this island. It's called Vieques, and it's a small island off of Puerto Rico. So that's on my
Mm-hmm.
bucket list.
Mm.
And of course, I've never been to Europe before. So of course, I'd love to go to Ireland and England and Italy and, but
There are a lot of countries in Europe.
I'd
Yeah,
love to, but I know that, there's only so
it's a
much.
lot.
So
Yeah,
what I'll probably do to consolidate all that is I'll probably just take a river cruise so that the river cruise will take me through
it's
Paris,
a good idea. Yeah.
right. And the cruise will take me
Uh-huh.
through France and Germany and
Yes.
Switzerland. And this way I could see all
Yeah.
those countries at a
Yeah.
very nice leisurely pace. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd love to go to the Maldives before it sinks into the ocean, but I mean, don't we want to go to so many different places? But
Yes. Yes.
so
I
my
know.
next adventure is I'm going to spend 6 months in the Riviera Maya in Mexico and explore while I'm there, and then just take it from that point.
Maybe we'll come see the resort. Is there a resort around?
Oh, there's a lot where I have a condo in Mexico. So there's
Hmm.
resorts like 5 minutes. There's a resort right across the street from my condo,
Okay.
but there's resorts like 5 minutes from me um,
Yeah.
that I can experience as well. So yeah, there's lots of resorts in Mexico, over 300 on the Riviera Maya that you can stay and enjoy. And now that they opened up the airport in Tulum, it's a lot easier
Oh,
to
it's
get.
closer?
Well, yeah. So now if you're going to a resort that's like Tulum is 2 hours away from Cancun Airport, and there's a lot of
Hmm.
hotels there. So people were flying in there. Now they can fly right into Tulum because the Tulum Airport opened up and be within 10-15 minutes from the resort area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
That
yeah,
sounds
there's a lot
great.
of happening things there, and um, beautiful country and great people, and love the Mayan culture. They're just such nice, warm, welcoming family people. So
Oh, good, good. And still laid back, right? Kind
yeah,
of, yeah.
yeah. You know what?
Good.
It's just you know, I know everybody has a thing about Mexico. There were, a lot of Mexican people come here, and why are we going there? The country is beautiful, and
Mm-hmm.
every country has its issues. So
Yeah,
as long as you're aware of them, and it's just like anything else. No matter what country you're in, you always have to be aware of your environment. It doesn't
yes,
matter where you are. You could be in New
absolutely.
York City. You have to be aware of where you are and what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So what is the best way for the customers to contact you? Is it via phone? You want to share your website?
Well, yeah, they can always go to my website. It's sunray-travel.com. And on the website, I have what's called a traveler inquiry form where they can
Mm-hmm.
fill out, and it
Mm-hmm.
asks just some basic things, of course, their name, what dates they want to travel, where they want to go. Once
Mm-hmm.
that form is completed, then I schedule a Zoom call like this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get to know them, okay? I don't want to
Yes.
just take their information and just say, oh, here, here, here. No, I want to get to know them so
Mm-hmm.
that I can create something that's really personal for them. If they don't, they can always text me. Of course, it's 845-699-9999. But the
Mm-hmm.
best way is to either go through my website, fill out the form. The form comes right to my email, and I respond rather quickly.
And you
Within
can talk.
24 hours, they'll hear from me. But that's really the best way. Or, they
Mm-hmm.
can just follow me on Facebook. I have my Sunray travel page, and I also have my Brenda Otto page. My Brenda Otto page is where they're going to see me traveling, and they're going to see more personal stuff about me, whereas my Sunray travel page is mainly promoting trips. So
Mm-hmm.
they can connect with me either way. So Brenda Otto on Facebook as my personal, or they could just go to the Sunray travel page in Facebook and Instagram, and
Yeah. You
those.
have a lot of social media coverage.
Well, you know what? I think you have to have different, coverages nowadays.
Yes.
People are looking in different places
Channels
all
of,
the time.
yeah.
But my personal page is where you're going to see my adventures. You're going to see the hotels that I've been staying at, the beaches that I go to,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Whereas on my Sunray page, you're going to see a lot of different resorts and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Do you have currently some offers or promotions?
Sure. Right now, Sandals has a really good promotion going on,
Good.
and that's one of my biggest things that I do sell a
Mm-hmm.
lot of sandals. But right now, Sandals has a special going on
Mm-hmm.
that if you travel to Jamaica to one of their properties, and they have several properties in Jamaica, they have
Mm-hmm.
like eight or nine
Okay.
properties in Jamaica, and you stay 7 days, up to 7 days, no, 7 days, you can get up to $500 off your airfare. So for one of my clients, they're both going to beaches, which is, a family resort. And
Mm-hmm.
with the room and the airfare for a whole 7 days was $4,400.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So when you see specials, when I put specials out there like that, like I
Mm-hmm.
have clients that I just booked to St. Lucia, they
Mm-hmm.
got $1,000 off their
Oh,
they had
nice.
a special a couple of weeks ago. They got $1,000 off their airfare. So when those specials are about, when you see them on my page that I'm sharing, $500 off air, because airfare is what's really expensive. And if
Yeah.
you can get that adjusted or reduced, then
Mm-hmm.
it's going to work your budget out really well. So yeah, so I always have some specials going on with
Mm-hmm.
Sandals, and also some other properties, like Aruba. I'll have some properties that are having specials, but the best way to find out about them is either follow me on
Yes.
Facebook
Follow, yes.
or become part of my email list. Okay, become
Mm-hmm.
part of my email list, and you can sign up on my email list by going to sunray-travel.com, and you can
Mm-hmm.
just sign up for my email list. There is where I put specials that are currently going on.
Yes, that's great. Call Brenda. All right. Thank you so much, Brenda, for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Okay.
And hope to see you soon.
All
Maybe in
right. Thank you,
Mexico.
sweetheart. All right. Thank you. Take care.
Okay.